A couple of years ago, I became somewhat obsessed with the idea of designing and building the ultimate small single garage workshop. And to achieve this goal, functionality, organization, and storage was my main consideration when designing my projects. Up until now, my French cleat wall has played a big role in accommodating many of these storage units, but I think I'm ready to retire my French cleat wall and replace it with an OSB wall instead. And in this video, I'm going to show you why. Okay, so as I mentioned, a few years ago I installed a French cleat wall into my workshop for storage and organization. An easy to install version that assembles in tiles and installs in segments. Now, I think most people would agree French cleats work great for that purpose because it can accept pretty much any storage or organization unit that you would like to suspend, and if you want to swap it out, you take it off and you put the new one on. So why am I retiring my French cleat wall for a wall made out of OSB? The short answer, well, out of all these storage and organization units I had up against that wall over the years, very few of them needed the ability to move or be removed from the wall. In fact, they probably would have worked just as well or even better if they were fixed to the wall. That's why I was playing around with the idea of a cleat locking mechanism back in the day. There are, however, exceptions, like my sander unit, which had the ability to remove from the wall when I needed to change the orientation. This can obviously still work with the OSB wall by adding a dedicated cleat or a detachable system for the sander. As for other storage units, they can pretty much fix straight onto the OSB wall. Towards the lower half of the storage wall, I'm installing, well, shallow shelves, and these will act as a type of a general storage for items that don't require dedicated storage in my shop, things like power tool cases or consumables. And I am assembling these shelves using mostly the offcuts from the OSB panels I used to make the wall. Now at this stage, some of you guys are probably thinking, well, I could have fixed these holders straight onto the wall and skipped the need for the wood panels, and you wouldn't really be wrong. Okay, so there's two reasons I went with the OSB wood panel instead of going straight into the wall. This is a hollow cement brick wall, which isn't really the best when it comes to anchoring. And with the OSB panel, the panel is pretty much standing on the floor, in a way supporting its own weight, with the fasteners only really keeping it upright. Secondly, I don't really want to drill my wall full of holes, and when a storage or organizer unit becomes obsolete and I remove it from the wall, it will leave a very noticeable, well, hole or mark. Which brings me to why I'm using OSB and not, let's say, for example, plywood, which might look a bit nicer to many people. But with the erratic pattern of the OSB, when a storage unit becomes obsolete and I remove it from the wall, the screw holes or nail holes that remain will be much less noticeable. It's also a bit cheaper, which is great considering its only real job is being there so I can screw stuff to it. And then finally, maybe it's just me, but I quite like the way it looks as well. It's also a lot faster to install than having to build a cleat system from scratch. With my OSB wall, I can make custom holders like this and fix it straight onto the wall. For things like my squares, I can make little custom holders like this and fix them pretty much anywhere I want to onto the OSB wall. Something that wouldn't work so well with a French cleat wall unless I fix them onto a backing and then suspend the backing off of the cleat wall. Or I can fix them straight onto the cleats, but that would kind of defeat the point of the cleat wall. In other scenarios, custom storage units aren't even necessary, and something as simple as driving a nail into the OSB will act as the perfect suspension or storage point. I'm also going to play around with the idea of these boxes, maybe more of them in the future or different layout, but for now, for demonstration, into these I'm going to install custom fit foam inserts. When the storage becomes obsolete, I only need to replace the insert. You aren't limited to any specific storage system, whether it is purchased, fabricated, or a simple nail in the wall, possibly even a combination of these. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Do you think the OSB wall is a better option than the French cleat wall, or do you think I should have stuck with the French cleat? Right, so at this stage, you guys should be getting the idea behind the OSB tool wall. Now, some of these holders were a little bit rushed for demonstration purpose or for the video and might have to be revisited at some stage, like the jigsaw holder. The jigsaws would take up much less wall real estate if it was stored perpendicular and not parallel. Everything has a place and everything in its place. The key to a successful, well-functioning workshop. And if you like things organized, it's nice to look at, creating an environment that is pleasant to be in. Before I end off, I do want to mention, I know it's been a little while since I've posted. I have been cleaning up the workshop, doing some home renovations, and I had to go away for a week or so to help out my father with some farm-related stuff. But I am still working towards my dream of going full-time with my content. So to everybody that watches my videos, likes and comments, visits my Amazon storefront, or buys plans and merch, thank you. Thank you for supporting my brand and helping me work towards my dream. As always, all those links will be in the description of this video. For now, however, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Until next time, cheers.